Hi everybody, I'm Sarra from CoastGuardFam. Welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to be doing an update on my 31st week of pregnancy. There have been a lot of physical changes happening. Today I'm going to tell you what's been going on with me. This week by far has been, for me, filled with the most significant, huge changes. And the changes have been really big too. It's quite surprising actually. Biggest change number one this week, heartburn. Oh my gosh. My whole life I've heard about heartburn, I've seen the commercials, but I never knew what people were talking about when they talked about suffering from heartburn. For the first time in my life, my stomach is up here. It's being squeezed and pushed and there's hardly any room. And whatever I eat gets soaked with acid and then crawls and climbs its way back up my esophagus and literally just like burns all over here. Have you experienced heartburn? Do you have any remedies? Tell me about it in the comments below. Big physical change number two this week. Gone is the nausea. So in the first half of my pregnancy, I had terrible nausea. I was taking Zofran almost every day and was practically bedridden with sickness. It interrupted my whole day and I couldn't get anything done. I even quit my job. Last month, my nausea had gone away, but had gone away from previously before that, but then it showed up again and it came back. This week, gone away again, back to normal. It's so good to feel good. It's so good to be nausea-free once again. Hopefully that's it. I'm only about 2 months away from having this beautiful baby, and I'm glad that there's no nausea. I can feel at least a little bit normal, especially with tacking on these other big changes that have occurred. Big physical change number 3 this week. I can actually feel baby. Now I've read several times that baby's gonna gain about half a pound each week until he's born. I feel like it's more like he's just growing like this. I feel his feet and his hands or his little limbs right up against almost the top of my ribs. Not that quite high up yet, but pretty close. It's such an amazing feeling to feel baby moving around. If I were to describe it, I would say it feels like a knuckle kind of dragging along, but from the inside. It's the most amazing feeling. And it doesn't hurt in any way. It just feels like he is cramped in there, he's moving around. I definitely know he's there. I love feeling his presence. It makes me feel like I'm bonding with him and that I can already start to imagine what it's going to feel like to hold him in my arms. Super exciting. Another physical change that is still continuing to happen this week is the weight gain. Now when I started my pregnancy I weighed about 140 pounds. I've reached about 180 pounds, so that's 40 pounds. So far, being at week 31, I don't believe you're really supposed to gain that much weight, but I have, and I do feel okay with it, as my body weight distribution does seem to be pretty even. Also, it's really fascinating to learn that baby weighs probably almost 4 pounds this week, and that's also not to mention the placenta, which possibly weighs between half and 2 pounds. Also, baby is sitting in about, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's about 3 pounds of amniotic fluid. So all of this accounts for the weight gain, not to mention the fact that I really haven't been working out. I have not been exercising this entire pregnancy as I should. In the beginning it was a little bit easier to move around, and I really wanted to keep up with my exercise program, which was basically just me doing whatever exercises I could and pushing myself to make sure I didn't become lazy or complacent. However, what I found out that it's not very easy when your ankles and your feet swell up. It starts to get really hard to want to walk around. all the time. It puts a lot of pressure on your knees and on your hips. Thankfully, my hips haven't been hurting that much at all, like I've heard some other women talk about, but they still do feel like they're bearing a lot more weight. And unlike being a little bit overweight versus being pregnant, all of that weight is in one spot. It's isolated, so it's not spread out evenly. So it also, what it does is it really has made me clumsy. I like to think of myself as a person who likes to be accurate in movements. But anyway, being clumsy makes it hard to want to exercise and to walk around. When you start to tip over just from regular walking, it kind of scares you to want to do exercise. I know there's women who keep up an intense exercise regimen throughout their whole pregnancy. I guess I'm not one of them. But I still feel healthy, I'm still eating right, and I feel like even though I'm gonna keep gaining weight, I don't think it'll too bad, and I have a lot of confidence in myself that I'll be able to lose it after baby's born. Another physical change this week, I have been having a lot of achy feeling in my lower back and hips. It's like an irritation of sorts, like if somebody's grabbing you and just holding it. It's not really painful, but it's just really annoying. It feels like a big pulling feeling. Not to mention my whole stomach feels like it's being pulled. The best way I can describe it is, you know when you've had a backpack on for a really long time? It feels like I've been wearing the front of a backpack, not for an hour, not for 2 hours, but for weeks on end now. It feels like you can't take the backpack off. Well, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you have anything to say, leave me a comment in the section below. And I love reading all of your comments, so thank you, and I'll see you next week. That's it for now. Bye-bye.